Good morning. Welcome to another Femme Fun Friday. Happy February. Today we're going to talk with my friend Kendra. I have shouted out Kendra endless times on my channel, on my Instagram. She is amazing at any type of like web marketing or online marketing, whether you need help working on like Instagram marketing, YouTube marketing, creating a website, coming up with like fun things that deal with that in your business. She is fantastic at it. She knows Canva Pro like a master. She also can like create art so that you're not using Canva art. She can create your own art. I love Kendra. She's been a friend of mine since 2018, I think, was whenever we met. So we'll talk about that on this episode. We also talk about Taylor Swift because she's a new Swiftie. We talk about knitting and technology and all kinds of other fun stuff. I think we end up talking about relationships as well because I had filmed this episode right after I filmed last month's episode with Simone. So I kind of carried over some conversation with Simone. So I hope you enjoy. Let's go talk to Kendra. Yay!
Hey,
Hi, Kendra.
hello.
Um, I don't know what I was going to start talking about first, but we're back in my kids' room. So I just filmed Simone's yesterday, and I just do
Nice.
stuff in my kids' bedroom now while they're not here,
Oh, cool.
because it's the only place I can hide.
Yeah.
And then we were just talking about how crappy this video quality is, which I was amazed by. Whenever I did my podcast before, I was on a different laptop, and I guess the video wasn't as terrible as this,
That's fair.
but I ordered like a $26 one. And then what I was going to tell you about is the Cinemark app. So,
Yeah. Wait,
um,
what year are we in?
when the app was doing its thing, probably pre-COVID, like 2018, 2019.
Oh, okay, like just before. Okay. Got it.
So before, if you were a Cinemark member and you paid like the $10 a month, you get your one ticket a month, you roll over. That's still a thing. You still get like your 20% off at concessions. But it's probably not $10 a month anymore. But whatever it was back then is what we paid. And then you could go into the app and you could say like allow location and stuff and say like I'm watching this movie and it would know that you're at the movie theater
Huh.
and your phone would have no notifications. It would be like the dimmest you'd ever seen it and it would just not let you use it. And if you just did that, then it would give you points towards like another free movie ticket. So that way they
That's
could like
cool.
ensure they could encourage you to not look at your phone or have it on in the movie.
I didn't realize it was that big of a deal
Yeah.
still. But okay.
I've seen kids watch full iPads at the movie theater where
Then
I
why
live.
go?
It's
It's
a
like
whole
$15 to go. Why did you go?
I don't know why people are bringing their kids to so many movies. I don't know. Post COVID's weird. But can you share
That's
this new
true.
app that you just found? Because we
Yes,
talked about it right before we
productivity
started
app.
recording.
Yeah. And I'd had like there was a bird app where like you have a bird for your mental health and it like checks in with you and stuff like that. I did that for like a year. That was cute and sweet. But like it's not making me stop look at my phone, that's for sure. So we're gonna try the bean, see if the bean works.
Okay. And so what is it? What is the app actually called?
Oh
I want to
God.
download it.
Okay. Oh no, I can't tell you because I'd have to stop the bean. I can't interrupt him.
Okay,
Or
in
tell him to
30
keep
minutes, in
focusing.
30 minutes we'll look at it.
Okay, yeah.
Also, fun fact, we're forced to take a break after 30 minutes because I don't pay for Zoom. So then we have
Okay.
to break for commercial and then we have to jump
Perfect.
back on.
That's perfect. Good. Good.
But then I guess we could properly introduce you. So you're
That's fair.
Kendra, and
And
then our pronouns are still she, her, right?
she, her.
Okay, cool. We're friends. We hang out all the time. So this is funny that we're doing a podcast. Um, and
We're not
then
even that far away from each other.
we're not that far away. We could do this in person, really.
Yeah.
I talk about you a lot on my other vlog because you handle a lot of my website stuff. You do a
Yep.
lot for the Glowing Goddess Discord. Anything else that you want to share with the class?
Um, I
Like your
paint.
profession? You paint.
I try to paint.
You do commission
Yeah.
work for like other people's things, like t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah, commission work is my big thing, no matter what the commission is for, whether it's painting, a pet portrait, or like a website or t-shirt design. Definitely commission work is my best thing. I love making people's like dreams come true. That's actually
Nice.
the best thing.
Love that. That's cute.
Yeah.
I was trying to decide what to wear for our podcast today. I wore a Taylor Swift sweater.
Perfect. Perfect. I have
I
no
figured,
Taylor merch.
oh my gosh, I have so much, but it's all sweaters. I realized I have nothing but winter
Oh,
wear for Taylor Swift clothes.
that's fair.
So since we don't see the waist down. I'm in shorts because it's hot.
Yeah. I'm basically wearing pajamas. Like I've got on a shirt, but basically pajamas.
I decided I'm gonna try to match the vibe for the podcast. So yesterday with Simone, I wore like my pansexual crocheted shirt because she's
Nice.
also a proud pan queen.
That's right.
But yeah, I don't really have anything for us to talk about other than Taylor Swift and shrinky dinks.
I'm into that. I mean, we could talk about your business, but it's not like a business podcast, so
No, I'm just chilling.
oh, that's
Actually, your name
fine.
came up yesterday with Simone because surprisingly, I had no clue where our conversation was going to go. But we ended up just talking about marriage and relationships the whole time, basically.
Oh,
And
okay.
she had brought up that the only reason she married her husband was because they wanted to stay together while she was still in Germany or something. I can't remember if it
Oh,
was like he was in the military and I think he
right.
wanted to stay in Germany, so they got married, but then it also helped her come back to America.
Yeah,
And I was
exactly. They
like,
have a really
oh, I was like,
interesting
oh, that's
history.
funny. I'm talking to Kendra tomorrow, and her husband got married because she was going to Japan.
Yeah. Like we already knew we wanted to, be married before that. We'd been together for 7 years already, and living together and everything. So like we were pretty solid. But we knew going to Japan, there's so many rules for Americans traveling to other countries
Yeah,
because there's too many of us, so they have
yeah,
to make all these rules. For other countries, they're like, you can come and work here for 3 months, whatever, who cares?
yeah,
But not Americans. So I had to get a work visa that's sponsored by the business in Japan that's hiring me. And then Chris would need to have a visa of his own to live there, either his own work visa or some of these other various visas. And it was all like family stuff. You can bring family over if you are married or related.
yeah,
So I had seen, one of the ways that I became interested in going and working in Japan at all was I had seen some videos online of people who had done just that. And some of the people was like a couple from the East Coast that had done the same thing and they got married the same way and went over with the work visa. So I knew it was possible. But then when we actually went to go do it, we were dealing with the San Francisco embassy, the Japanese embassy in San Francisco, and you have to like file your visa with them and stuff. And I kept telling him like, I'm gonna have the work visa, we're gonna be married, he's gonna get the spouse visa, and they're like, that's not a thing. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not a thing? It's definitely a thing. There are people online who are doing it. And the people at the embassy desk were like, no, we don't know how to do what you're talking about. That's not possible. And I
that's
was like, you're silly. This is definitely possible. So it was this back and forth thing, and they kept denying it until literally the week we were supposed to leave for Japan. They still hadn't given us our visas, and I was telling the business who hired me, like, they're telling me it's not possible, and they're like, no, it's definitely possible. Tell them to do this and this, and they were telling me instructions. I was like, they're not listening to me. Every time
yeah,
I walk in, they try to push me out of the office. They didn't want me there. They're
yeah.
being very catty. But anyways, finally my work had to call into the embassy and spend hours sorting it out with them. And we got our visas like 2 days before we left the country.
Ay,
It was
caramba.
horrible.
Oh my gosh, that's
It was a
terrible.
nightmare. Yeah. The whole
Okay,
getting to Japan and getting home transitions were terrible. I could say a year's worth of stuff of how the companies are not set up. But it's kind of the same thing here. Like anytime you're importing someone from another country, you're kind of just like, how quickly can I plug them into work? Like, fuck their home life. I don't care if
yeah,
they've got, their
yeah.
situation sorted. I just need them to work. But it's like, what do I do with all my trash when I leave the country? No one wants to tell you that. No one wants to help you there. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
It's
Yeah,
very
Simone
funny.
did touch on like how hard it is to get to America because she knows that way. And
Yeah.
she was saying like she is a US resident legally. And we
Hmm.
did talk on immigration a lot and some of the political things with that. But like she was saying like I never wanted to be a US citizen because my country's fine and I can go back anytime I
Yeah.
want. But she was like,
Don't
it
blame
is
her.
so hard to become an actual American citizen. It's easier to just stay married and just be a legal resident here.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I don't want to get into politics. Like you said, we can talk about that for a year. I was going to ask you something. Oh, I asked Simone yesterday. I already know your story pretty much, but I didn't know Simone's. And no one watching this knows your story of how you found like the getaways, like the goddesses in the first place.
Yeah.
Because we're like currently in the glowing goddess sisterhood era. It
Yeah.
was called Glowing Goddess Getaway. That
Getaway.
business disbanded and we made our new thing.
Yep.
Before the Glowing Goddess Getaway Discord, there was a whole business that happened in person.
Yeah. The way I got connected was they found me actually. I think the story goes that Mindy, was very active with the goddess group already, and I think maybe she had been following me on Instagram and kind of made everyone there aware of who I was online.
Yeah.
And for the 420 Easter event in,
Windsor? Was it
yeah,
Windsor?
Windsor,
NorCal?
yeah, in 2019, yeah, they were going to specifically be doing a women employed in cannabis kind of theme for that
Yeah.
event. And they were going to have a panel of women employed in the cannabis industry in various different ways. So they thought it would be cool to invite me as an artist to speak on that. Even though Mindy was right there, but they asked for an outside voice. So they invited me to come speak as an artist on this panel and then, invited me to come for free. The tickets back then were 420 per person, and I definitely didn't have it to like
Yeah.
go hang out with no one I knew for fun.
Yeah.
And one of the only reasons I ended up going is because it was in Windsor, and I was living less than an hour away at the time. So
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, it feels kind of insane to not try.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's camping. Like, I love camping. I could go camping on my own, no problem. So yeah, I showed up not knowing literally anything about the goddesses. I'd kind of seen a few of their Instagram posts and knew it would be like an outdoor party, but
Yeah.
that was it. And wow, that it was like I still think about it a lot because it inspires a lot of the art that I still want to make and haven't yet made of like
Yeah.
you like coming into this campfire circle of amazing goddesses, almost like the Spice Girls, like you're all your own perfect
Yeah.
identity, your own thing, you all like embody it so perfectly, and you're all just like exactly as you are. And then it allowed me to do the same and be myself and take up my little corner of the circle and bring
Yeah.
my own personality out, which is like what I was going through in my personal life at the time. Like, who am I? So that
Yeah.
was pretty critical in that moment. And then unfortunately, pretty soon after that, we all went online. But having had that connection right before that, it was like, okay, as long as I still have access to this group of people somehow, like I'm still finding my people, I'm still making connections, still making a lot of friends, and ended up making, forging this community that helped us get through all the 2020 bullshit. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like perfectly timed to happen right before that.
That's true. And I think you were one of the like the lead people for Discord, right? Whenever everything first shut down. I was talking to Simone
Yeah,
about this. And
I don't,
were you helping make the original Glowing Goddess Getaway Discord?
I didn't help with that. I don't know how they kind of got turned on to it. I had already been using Discord like with my husband's friends, but it was very minimal. We were only just starting to do it for like D&D online.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure like who kind of got Deidre to start one, but once she got it started, I was like ready to dive in and be like, how can
Yeah.
we make this work for us? And I think collectively we all kind of started to see it as like a communal space. Oh, and that's the other thing. I was already working with Mindy to create a Discord space for the Flower League,
Oh,
which was
that's
the
right.
artist group we were trying to make. I almost forgot about that. So we had been trying to create a Discord space before the goddesses. So I don't know, maybe Mindy kind of convinced her, or maybe she just kind of had seen what we were doing, and a lot of
I think
people were probably also, huh?
Bevan had had a Discord before then too.
Exactly.
I know Tori was
Exactly.
really into it. So yeah, that's true. I guess a lot of people were already into Discord.
Yeah. But
I
it was
had been
like a small thing. No one's really like dove into it by that time. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew of Discord because I was a STEM major, so all the nerds used Discord for college as well
Yeah.
as gaming.
Exactly.
Like I learned of Discord when I got to state college and they were like, dude, you have to get on the Discord server because we're all math students so we can like share collectively, which
Yep.
was fine at the college I went to because California State College, like specifically Monterey Bay, is huge into group projects. So we weren't even really cheating.
Perfect. Yeah.
It was just using resources from other previous groups and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But like that's how I had found out about it. And then so it was pretty easy for me to get into
Yeah.
it. I had
Yeah.
another question while you were talking too. Oh, you were on the business panel. I remember that you specifically at the time were really into the cones. You did art for cones, and
Yes.
I think that's
Yeah.
why they wanted you to talk about that specifically. Because like you said, Mindy
Yeah.
was there. She was like in charge of all the art aspect of Glowing Goddess Getaway.
Yeah.
But I was trying to think of who else was on that panel. Was Sharon Ellis at that one?
Ooh.
Do you know who she is? I'm like trying to think. Maybe I should message
Yes.
her and have her on
I
the show.
I can't go on my phone. I have a
Oh
bean.
yeah, you're being.
It's gonna keep getting me. Turn
It's an
less.
it's an excellent app. But yeah, Sharon
Yeah.
Ellis was like huge, and I think she was at Windsor. There was a
Yeah, she
lot
was
of
because
really
I was
cool people
roommates
there.
with her. We
Okay.
we oh, it was hella funny. She and I took one of the communal tents. So many people brought their own tents that we
Yep.
were with some of the few people in the communal tent. And again, neither of us had like bedrolls or anything. So the first night we just made do with what we had. Everyone went to bed really late and high, so that was fine. But we both woke up sore. So the
Oh.
next night, I was like, "What are we gonna do, Sharon?" Everyone was like getting in bed. She's like, "Come on." So we walked over to the pool area and we took some of the cushions from the lounge seats. And
Yeah.
she's like, "We're gonna steal them." So we just took those and used those. And
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you sure it's okay?" And she's like, "Fuck it, who cares?" As she's like drinking alcohol and smoking a joint.
Yeah.
She had this cool jug of alcohol that she had put a bunch of stuff like chamomile and weed and like all these medicinal herbs into like, leach it into the
Yeah.
alcohol, but it was still just like straight gin. So she was
Jesus.
like, "You want a shot?" So we started the day with a shot of her medicinal drink, like she's a trip. She was so much fun. Just like a wealth of knowledge and witchy shit and
Yeah.
medical information and life experience, like in ADD. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I fell in love with her.
100%. I remember one of her big things while she was talking. She talked about like how cannabis can cure so many things. And she had said something like, of course, we were all high at the time, but she had said something to the effect of like, they make you think it doesn't work because it's not going to help them make money. Like
Yeah,
pharmaceuticals won't continue to make money if they let you know that cannabis works for so many things.
yeah,
And that was like mind blowing for me at the time. Um,
exactly.
but yeah. And then, oh, I was gonna say too, I've definitely slept on my floaty avocado before while
Yeah.
camping. Like, actually, I think it was either in Windsor or in Oregon that I had my avocado floaty, and then I think Lauren had brought me and Lauren did communal tents for the first couple before she got her own, and then we
Mhm.
would sleep in hers. But she had like a little tiny cot or maybe just a little flat blow up thing,
Yeah.
and it wasn't comfortable, and I ended up just sleeping in the avocado floaty.
That might be the way to go because pool floaties are only like $30.
Yeah, yeah, if you
So,
get a good
and then I
one,
could use it in the pool.
it's
So,
dual use for sure.
yeah. I mean, I'm glad we're not doing tent camping. I'm glad we're renting houses now, but if we ever do, that would be the way to go.
Yeah, I feel like we could revisit camping maybe, but I don't know that I'd want to anymore.
I think if we revisited camping in a way that we were all camping in a backyard and still had the house to use and maybe just didn't have enough rooms for everyone, like, fine. I just still want a bathroom.
Yeah.
You
Or if we
know?
did like cabin camping, like I went camping at
Yeah.
Jellystone and for a
Yeah.
week and we were in a cabin, so you still had a full bathroom, full
Absolutely.
kitchen, and then like there's tons of other fun stuff to do.
Yep.
So I think we
Yeah.
could do it, but
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I don't know that I could rough it in tents anymore.
Yeah. That was
I don't know.
a lot.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with Taylor Swift.
Oh my God. I'm so excited. I was watching more Easter egg videos last night, and then I was just watching old music videos because I was just looking for my own Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to a friend about how everything we're consuming right now, all the Eras Tour videos, all the videos she's put out, are full of Easter eggs we're not even aware of yet.
Yep.
And now I'm just like a conspiracy theorist, like it's everywhere, you know.
The, Taylor Nation posted a reel of like the record in the record player.
I saw that.
There's
We
already
were
so
like, the
many people.
perfume.
Yeah, there's already so many people like pointing out all the tiny little things in that like one little 5 second video.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and then
Yeah.
I was watching people take apart clips of the podcast and how, at one point she was like, "Oh yeah, the Easter eggs, it's getting, a bit like Zodiac Killer at this point." And I'm like, "So you're admitting you're going deeper. So you're admitting we're getting deeper. So we should look for more. You're saying don't back off, lean in. That's what
Yeah,
I'm hearing."
I think so. I think so. I got my nails done yesterday. My nail lady is like a very classic. Mexican chick that's just like super cool, but also like way not into witches and shit, right? And she's
Yeah,
like convinced that Taylor Swift is a witch or
fair.
does work with the devil. And so she was
Indeed.
like, I can listen to her music, but I can't really get into it because I'm worried that she is a witch. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. That makes sense. You know what I mean? Like some people are like, I won't go on Spotify now because they have AI artists and I won't take the chance of stumbling upon an AI artist. So in the same way, like, do you keep
Yeah.
yourself safe? I don't care.
I, I also, so I've never done Spotify. I technically have it, but I don't like, it's not my first choice. Um, I'm actually on my boyfriend from high school's family plan because he had an
Oh,
empty spot and he got sick of sending me Spotify links that I couldn't open and listen to.
yeah.
So he was like, I'm just adding you to my family plan. And I was like, cool. But I heard online that they were going to like raise the price or make you pay more for no ads, I guess.
I have no idea. I've been paying just for the simple premium for like over a decade now, and
Yeah.
it's only gone up like $1. So I don't know. I haven't paid attention. I'm like, as
I
long
don't,
as you keep giving me what I want, I'm happy.
I may not have it anymore if they raise it too much and he kicks me off. I don't know how that'll work.
I know the family plan always changes. I was considering doing it for Chris and I so that we can like listen simultaneously to different things, but I don't know, they keep changing it. So I'm like, you aren't settled yet. I'm not gonna commit.
Yeah. I've done YouTube music for a decade, like
Yeah.
at least. Because it
And
was
once you
Google
get
Music.
locked into something with all your playlists, like you're kind of beholden to that company now. Like I'm
Yeah.
committed.
It was Google Music before it was YouTube Music. And I remember when they merged with YouTube and they were like, hey, it's going to be YouTube Music soon. And I was panicking that they would just wipe all my playlists. And
Yeah,
I was refusing to
exactly.
download YouTube Music. And then eventually they were like, don't worry, everything is seamlessly going to merge. The interface will just look different. And I was like, okay. And it was fine.
Okay.
It was fine. But I was really nervous about it.
Yeah.
I'm
I was
really into
doing
playlists.
I was doing Pandora before Spotify was a thing. And I just didn't love how unpredictable, like I couldn't just make a solid playlist of the songs I wanted. So when
Yep.
Spotify existed, I was like, you're everything I want. And then I
Yep.
jumped all in immediately and I haven't looked back. And I know like there's all these things about Spotify being problematic and not paying artists. So like I try to be intentional and not just like I choose what artists I listen to. And like the whole time Taylor Swift had that thing, I was like, we're not even gonna touch it. We're gonna leave Taylor alone. But it's like I'm still giving money to Spotify. It's one of
Yep.
my only subscriptions, my few vices.
Yeah, there's
So
nothing we can do, you know?
yeah.
That's just the way the world is going. They don't, I mean, they're not getting paid from any streaming service, you know? It's like pennies.
Yeah. And like if I want to support it, I'll buy your merch. Like if you
Yeah.
have merch available, I will buy. Like the upcoming album for Taylor, I fully intend to buy at least a shirt. I was gonna buy
Yeah,
the records, but I was like, I literally will have no use for a record in this house. I'll get much more use out of a t-shirt, but I would love to buy something to support an artist I care about. That's fine.
totally. I 100% want to buy merch, but I have to remind myself while I'm shopping to not buy any sweaters.
No
I have
sweaters.
I have four Taylor Swift sweaters.
Summerwear.
And I have two full sweat outfits, like sweater, sweatpant
Yeah, and the
outfit.
pants. Yeah.
And then I have the Eras Tour hoodie when I went to the Eras Tour.
Oh yeah,
This one
well,
isn't official merch. This is a lady that I found that makes her own and like screen prints them or
oh, that's
whatever.
really cute.
And you can't tell because my camera is trash, but she like intentionally bleached parts of it so that it would be like white, or
Right.
maybe it was dye. I don't know how she did it, but there's like little white clouds within the light blue.
That's so cute.
So yeah,
And like that feels like supporting an artist too. Sure, it's not Taylor
totally.
Swift, but like that girl's an artist.
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
Shrinky dinks. You want to talk about shrinky dinks still?
Yes.
I think the
So
world needs to know about shrinky dinks.
this
We
is
need to
like
make it
all
back.
that's left of the shrinky dink paper you left us with. I think you left like almost 10 sheets and we went through it.
I think it's so funny that you guys are still using them.
Oh my God. Yeah. So my
Did you
parents,
ever buy your own?
we're gonna buy our own, but now we're trying to figure out like, do we want the printable ones or the clear ones or one of the color ones or all of them? So they've been busy on trips. They haven't been home a lot, and they're gonna be going to another trip in the next month. So after they're home from all these trips for like fall and winter, I think we'll be diving back in.
Oh gosh, I just realized
Yeah,
we could do so many fun winter ones, like Christmas, fall and
exactly.
Christmas. You
You can
could make
make
like
ornaments.
ornaments. Yes.
So yeah, one of the weekend my niece and nephew were here, we were doing all the shrinky dinks. Their other grandparents stopped by to say hi real quick, and one of the grandparents, the dad, was like, "Yeah, when shrinky dinks were like first came out in the 80s and 90s, all of his family would make ornaments for each other out of them." And so then my mom's like eyes grew, and she's like, "Ornaments." So
I just
that's
thought
gonna
of
be a
that
thing.
as you were talking about it.
Yeah. And
I
then like
didn't
if
put,
you print them too, you could print on them and like print like the ornament idea was like you print a little frame or whatever, and then the kid draws a drawing in it, and then you give it to grandma or grandpa, and it has like the year or whatever printed, so it doesn't have to be kids' handwriting, but their drawing is still there. Like a million
that's
ideas, you know?
that's super cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Okay,
Yeah.
you could even trace little kid hands.
Exactly. Or they could any drawing that the kid has drawn, you could
Yeah.
trace onto the dink paper. So like it's perfect. Yeah.
I was just Googling it. Shrinky dink, according to Google's AI response, shrinky dinks were invented in 1973. That's crazy. Why didn't anybody know about
Yeah.
this? It was a Cub Scout project in Brookfield, Wisconsin,
Oh, okay.
according to Carnegie Mellon University. Crazy, because
That's cool.
I didn't know. Like, I feel like it was the early 2000s whenever I got into them.
Oh man. I remember them being a thing like when perler beads were popular when I was a kid. Shrinkadinks
They
and perler beads were the activities.
they reached peak popularity in the 80s, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
is crazy. Okay, the other name for it in past years was shrinkles. How cute.
I've never heard of a shrinkle.
Shrink, yeah, it says shrink art, shrinky dinks, or shrinkles.
That's hilarious.
It's a
I would love
craft
to find someone
activity.
who knows it by that name. Look at all my shrinkles over here. It sounds like you have wrinkles. It's cute.
Sheets of polystyrene.
Uh-huh.
So that's what the plastic is. I've always wondered what the actual plastic would be.
Yeah. It has to be that particular kind.
Polyestyrene. Interesting. Polystyrene? Polyestyrene? I don't know. Shrinky dinks, I think, are the way of the future. And
Hmm.
I'm excited to make. Maybe I'll do some tonight. We're having a craft night tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll have to. Oh, no, wait. We have one last
Oh, one
sheet.
full sheet. Dude, the
The
possibilities
last.
are endless.
Exactly. Exactly. I already made a bracelet for Amanda. I need to send it to her before it gets too late in the year.
That's the other thing is you can do like TS12 stuff and make
I
like
didn't
Taylor
even think
Swift
about that.
bracelets.
Well, and so I was thinking about TS12 stuff as far as merch because you and I are going to be going to a few merch events in September and October. Um, and I'm like, I could make TS12 specific stuff. Specifically, I'm making the little fortune tellers, right? I've got
Oh,
a
love
few
those.
new designs that I'm bringing. But I'm like, literally, I already have one that has a bunch of Taylor Swift lyrics on the inside. I could decorate the outside to be like eras. Life of a Showgirl? I don't know. Haven't
Totally.
figured that out.
Totally.
And then I'm like, I could even add orange glitter or purple glitter or silver. I could do all four colors.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, is that just for me and you?
I don't think so. I would say that her fan base is far and wide
So,
for sure.
so maybe I'll do one or two full glittered up.
I had the same problem with my nails yesterday because I was like, how do I encompass all of it? And I ended up getting this like cat eye polish that changes from pink to purple and sometimes greenish.
Oh,
It's very
okay.
like this camera's trash. I don't know what I'm trying to show you.
I
But
saw
then
the photos on Instagram, yeah,
I
and the
found out she
silver
had
stars.
star stickers. So
That's cool.
she put stars all over them.
I love that.
But
Very
Zoom
cool.
is gonna kick us out. So we'll have to go to a commercial break. This video is proudly sponsored by Kendrra, also known as Street Rat Draws. All of her info is linked in the description below for this video if you want to find her. She is currently available to do graphic design work for anything D&D or cannabis related, and she loves doing commission work as far as like vibrant custom paintings. You can find everything that you need to know about Kendrra or how to contact her in the description box below and on her website. Thanks. Enjoy the video. Today's podcast is sponsored by me, Jerry B. Berry. I crochet things, I knit things, I make things. So if there's anything that you would like to custom order from me, you can always message me, Jerry B. Berry on Instagram. You can email me at jerrybberry@gmail.com. I can do custom orders. You can always check out my website, which is always in the description box, as well as my email and my Instagram. I would love to make things for you, so you can always reach out to me. If you would like your ad here on this platform or on any of my other YouTube videos, you can also reach out to me at those places, and I am happy to shout you out. Even if you're a close friend, if you just have a small business, whatever it may be, I love shouting out small businesses. Message me and let me know, and I will do that for you. Okay, let's get back to the episode. Bye. He made 32
He
socks.
made 32 socks
That's
in
insane.
30 minutes.
That's too many socks, in my opinion.
That's a lot of socks. It could be kitty cat socks. Oh, he got himself a little boba.
Oh,
Oh my.
with his money from his
Yep.
sales?
I
Okay.
think his butt is his pocket because he pulled it out and put it right back.
His butt is his pocket. What is the app called before you sent
Oh
this one?
yeah. Let's
I need
actually
to
get you
download
on
that.
there. Okay. No timer. What are you called, little bean? This is Focus Friends.
Focus, friends. Okay. Oh, it does say Hank Green. Okay.
Yep. And there's no login, there's no ads, there's no data collected. You just have a bean.
What? That's
That's
crazy.
it.
In this day?
That's what they said too. That's literally what they said.
That's insane.
They have like a umbrella of small businesses that they host under their website called a good store, essentially, and it's just good things. You could find good things by companies that do good. They're kind of
Oh,
like vetted and recommended by these guys. So
I'm gonna have to look this up. And you said they have a YouTube?
yeah, they have a YouTube. Between the two of them, they like make vlogs back and forth essentially in a kind of a conversation. One does one and then the other does another. They live away from each
Okay.
other. So they do that and then they each have their own kind of YouTube vlogs. And then Hank also works on the YouTube channel SciShow, which
Oh
is
my
like
God,
an
I do know this
educational.
guy.
Yeah. So they kind of like own a lot of these businesses or like run them to kind of do good in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've literally had college professors show me this guy's videos before of breaking
Yeah,
down like nerd shit.
exactly. We watch it a lot, Chris and I.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah. And then actually he's been on Dimension 20 and a lot of the D&D shows that we watch and did a comedy special with Dropout, the network we subscribe to. So like he's in the internet sphere that we kind of watch.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I need to subscribe to the D20 thing.
The Dropout, it is so worth it. It's $6 a month for unbelievable content that's like winning Emmys and like breaking records. It's insane.
I really
It's
just like
crazy.
Game Changer. Every time I see clips of Game Changer, I want to keep watching it.
It's so fucking good. Actually, the season just ended, but we're all collectively waiting for an extra secret episode because
Ooh,
earlier in the season there was an episode that was basically like, what's the most viral like TikTok or
ooh,
Instagram
I
reel
remember
we can
this.
make? So we've been waiting for the results to come back. So we're like, we know there's another episode
There
sneakily
has
waiting
to be.
to come to us. So it's kind of fun.
Did you, did you tell me that it was College Humor?
It
Like Key and
was.
Peele, like College Humor, and like if Google was a guy, like all of that. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, basically, that company was sold off to Sam Reich, the guy who like bought it and is now the like CEO and face, right? And he kind of turned it around into instead of just like a YouTube show, almost like a network of their own where they all like make a bunch of different shows. All the comedians and writers essentially had to go start shows to
Okay.
test on this network. And then they're like continuing to fund the ones that really work and continuing to start all these pilots and test all these different kinds of content and comedy and all that.
That's really cool because
It's
I loved
really
all of
cool.
the If Google Was a Guy series.
Exactly. And then
And
they did a
then
bunch of CEO where Brennan was the CEO of a company like having a meltdown on a shoot. Oh my God. If you haven't
there
seen
was,
those, that's a watch.
did they do the Oreo ones?
Yes, that's
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Exactly. So they were doing skits for a while before like quarantine and pandemic hit and all that. And then after that, they've kind of switched to be more of like a network where they're putting out shows on their
Yeah.
streaming platform, and then those kind of trickle down to YouTube,
Yeah.
as it were. Yeah.
Speaking of weird networks, we've been really into A24 films recently. And I
Oh
don't know if
yeah.
you've seen any, but have you seen I Thought of You because we watched The Death of a Unicorn?
I haven't seen it yet, but I
Oh
was
my,
so excited for it. Like, I'm not normally into like horror or gory movies, but I do love a monster movie and I love a unicorn. So I
Yeah.
just haven't like gotten myself to see it yet, but I watched the Paul Rudd Day Drinking. I watched like all these things about it in anticipation, but I haven't seen it.
I'm a big fan of Paul Rudd. I will say it's not, I thought it was going to be scarier. I wouldn't classify it as a
Oh,
scary movie at all. I think
oh,
it just has some like very bloody scenes.
oh, okay. I can
Like
probably handle
if
that.
you've seen like any generic white guy action movie where people are getting kicked in the face or getting shot, like
Okay.
that's what's happening, but with
Okay.
unicorns.
Okay, I can handle that. Like
I don't
I
think,
love a werewolf movie. If someone's getting eaten alive by a werewolf, like cool, that's an
yeah.
animal doing his business. I ain't mad. You
Yeah,
know?
it's basically what this is. I thought it was
Yeah,
going to be way scarier for sure.
natural.
But my 10-year-old watched it and he was fine. He didn't have trouble.
Oh, okay, cool. They were
So,
trying to make it seem really scary then. And I was like,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Another
Well, I
one
can't wait.
that is, and apparently all of these are on HBO. So if you have HBO Max, that's
Okay.
the way to go. And you can see all the
I think my
A24s.
parents do, so they'll be here soon.
What was the other? Oh, like Life of Ochi or something like that. I'll
I
have
don't
to
know
look it
this
up.
one.
This one is really good. Again, like um debut movie for a guy that wrote this story and directed it. It's like set in the Ukraine, or
Ooh.
sorry, I don't know where they filmed it, but yeah, the setting of the movie is in like the Ukraine area, like by the Black Sea, is what they say in the beginning. And the Ochi are like these creatures, almost like it gave me like Gremlins vibes, like with the way
What?
that they did practical puppeteering for the
Oh,
creature.
neat. I have not heard of this.
And it's like brand new. I think it just came out in April or something.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to check this out. That's
I
so
love
funny. I
the
immediately recognize the font they're using.
yeah.
Um, but the corridor guys that I work for have a regular show on YouTube called special or like VFX Artists React, where they
Mhm.
react to shows like this. So I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if they brought it up because it is such good effects.
Yeah, I because as we were watching it, sorry, I'm opening my Dr. Pepper. As we were watching it, I was like, man, I don't think this is CGI. It looks like she's really holding that thing. And then I Googled it mid-movie because that's how I am.
Yeah.
And yeah, it said that it's mostly puppeteering, kind of like the little Grogu and the Mandalorian. Like they do
Yeah.
have to CGI some things with the face or whatnot sometimes,
Yeah.
but
But it
it's a
always looks
real
better.
puppet. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's really neat. You know, Chris and I were just watching a deep dive on Who Framed Roger Rabbit and how they did
Yeah.
the effects of the animated characters like in the real world there. And again, it was like puppetry. Like if a character was like holding a real coffee cup and drinking or whatever, they had like a little puppet do the action, then they just were able to put the animated filter on top. That totally makes sense that that would still be the most effective way to have something feel like really there.
To me, it just seems more legit. I don't know. All the way around, it just feels better.
Yeah. Well, then,
Um,
you know,
yeah.
the studio execs like have those thoughts of like, yeah, but then we have to make all these models and have all these robotics dudes, and it's like it is a whole fund. And some people are like, but we could just do it in post. Like we could just hit a magic button and it'll just work, right? And I think the misunderstanding is what usually causes them to do the effects, where it's like, if you know anything about how like that pipeline looks, you're never gonna have as good a result. We already know this.
Yeah, it's like it's never gonna.
It's
I would
never gonna be
rather
the
have a
same.
clunky animatronic than a weird thing that looks like they're not really touching the thing and the lighting is always
Yeah.
off and all of that. Like,
Yeah. And it's like some people will suspend disbelief and be like, okay, I get it. I get what you're trying to make it look like. I get it. But it's like, do you want people to get it or do you want them to be like, wow, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Like the even this is gonna sound so gay. Even Christopher Robin, like the live action with Ewan McGregor,
I haven't seen
Winnie the
it.
Pooh is clearly CGI'd for facial expressions and a lot of movement, but they made an exact sized bear
Yeah.
so that Ewan McGregor could actually hold it and act with it, and they didn't have to like put that part in. This is all real, and it
Yep.
looks fluffy, and you can see the texture, and it's all real. But
Yep.
like him talking is CGI'd, which is fine. You could barely
Yeah.
tell. Like it was perfect.
I
And then
feel
Ewan
like
McGregor talked about how much easier it was to act with a real thing since he's been in all the Star
exactly.
Warses and done like all the CGI.
Yeah, if we're not talking about the bottom line and money, it's better for everyone all around. You know what I mean? Like, sure, there's probably like difficulties in the machinery and all that, whatever, whatever. But still. all things considered, the end result and working on the project and stuff like that, it's all better. But it's like there's this constant, there's that triangle of like good, fast, and cheap. You can only choose two, blah, blah, blah. But it's like we constantly see the studios choosing the cheap over the good, you know what I mean? And it's like when someone uses AI for their marketing and you're like, I
Yep.
see that you just took a cop out. And if you don't care, why would I care? If you don't have quality care, why would I assume you have quality care in the final product? Like it just looks so bad to be making that choice. It's so obvious when you're making that choice. And it's like
Yep.
I think people were ready to deal with it when it was only like in 30% of the places you look, but now that that choice is being made everywhere, everyone's getting sick of it. Like all of our products are breaking, all of our movies are full of bad effects, like everything's bad everywhere now.
Like, were you the one that told me about the Wicked one and you showed me the pictures and how
The
bad they
AI,
were?
yeah.
Yeah, that one
It's just like
really,
it was just even if it wasn't AI, it was bad Photoshop. Like
yeah.
pay a real artist to do a better job. A student could have done a better job.
I don't know how you build a whole fucking train to Emerald City and then you can't get a legit photo for Wicked Part 2. Like that
Yeah.
you built shiz. And you're
Yeah.
like, you know what? Let's just let AI handle these photos. Like that's bizarre
Right?
to me.
It's
Doing such a disservice to the whole
That's
set that
exactly
you,
it.
yeah.
It's like I'm gonna do all this. I'm gonna make this two fucking whole Broadway ass movies, but I don't want to pay one guy to make a poster that's not even a poster. It's just a little Instagram image, but I
Yeah.
don't want to pay one guy to make it look good.
Like that's crazy to me.
It's insane. And it's
And
just like in another like if this was an artist, like let's say I was doing this and I was like, okay, I've done all this work. My advertisement on Instagram looks like shit. Like whatever. Like I'm one guy, I'm
yeah,
trying to make it work. But you're like a
yeah,
huge ass company with thousands of people working for you. Like there's
yeah.
no
Like
excuse.
I started my morning with being like, oh shit, we have craft night. I didn't see a post go out. Let me make one in Canva. And I did a better job than you had
Exactly.
already made one, by the way. And I just
Exactly.
didn't know where to find
Totally
it.
forgot.
But
You know.
I made one in 5 minutes on Canva that looked better than like the Wicked ones. Like it's crazy to me.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like so then I go, okay, so you is this because it was last minute? Like you just didn't have any planning, or you just like, yeah, it's just hard to imagine. It's just hard to imagine. And
And
then it's like, so you think public doesn't care or is too stupid to notice, which is also insulting. You know what I mean?
yep. Which perfectly brings us back to Taylor Swift because she is like all about the quality, putting
Yeah.
all the little Easter eggs and making sure you're paying the closest attention,
Yeah.
paying her people all the money, like, and doing it right.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my
Maybe she
God.
is using AI, but if she is, she's doing it the right way because
I
I
can't
can't tell.
imagine where. I literally can't imagine where she'd be using it. She has to hand curate everything she does because she's putting so many Easter eggs in it.
Yep.
She can't be like any perfume bottle will do. No, because this is directly tied to something that's coming out in 3 years,
Yeah.
like
The planning is
exactly.
impeccable.
But it's like it's the antithesis of that oh it's good enough kind of mindset. And like my husband and I have this discussion of good enough all the time because there are parts in your life and in your work where good enough is important and you need to be able to find that line and not keep driving for perfection. Fine.
Yes.
But like this is not the place where good enough is appropriate.
Nope.
So, when Taylor Swift is like making all this bespoke stuff for her community, it's designed for us specifically with information we as her community would know about her,
Yeah.
about the content that we're consuming, right? So like you can't fake anything. Like you can't take any shortcuts. It all has to be real and authentic and specific and
Yep.
intentional.
Yep.
So, she couldn't fucking fake it if she tried.
I like I have stopped caring if I shit talk men anymore because I don't want my audience to be mostly men. It's like I follow mostly women podcasts. Like the Amy Poehler podcast is one of my favorites, and she brings up all the time that she is so sick of mediocre men being enough. Like women have been doing so much above and beyond for so long. And men
True.
just getting to show up and be mediocre is just bullshit anymore. And that was like her
Yeah.
whole motivation for doing a podcast. She was like, men just wake up and do this. And they're like
It's
half-assing their way through life.
they
Like,
do.
there's no reason for me to not do this and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that is so funny because, thinking about coming on this podcast, I've thought about podcasts I've done in the past where it's like not even a real podcast, it's just a bunch of men in film school who are like, we're gonna make a podcast. And all they think to do is press record when they sit down to have a conversation. And
Yeah,
I'm like, you must know that there's more to a podcast than just recording your conversations, right? Like, who would want to sit down and just listen to you guys talk about nothing for 2 hours and smoke? You know what I mean? Like,
that's just what guys like to do.
you have to have put more thought into it. No, they never did. It was just
No,
literally, let's record and then be okay, what are we going to talk about? I don't know.
yeah.
It's
But if
like, you
women do it,
guys.
then, women are just chatty Cathys and they're just gossips and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So
I
it
don't
is
know.
what it is.
Every woman podcast I've known has been like about a specific topic. There's ones that I follow that are about art history and art
Yep,
and women in art, or like even Call Her Daddy podcast, like the
yep,
biggest podcast basically ever right now.
yep,
So, I don't
yeah.
know.
She asks real important questions that actually people care about.
Yeah. I
And
don't,
I
what
feel
was
like
I? It was like
even this,
on, oh, go ahead.
like even this one, I'm just like, I don't care what the topic is, whatever. But I feel like we still focus. And then I learn stuff. Like
Yeah.
I learned shit from the Amy Poehler podcast that I did not know before because she'll talk about like menopause or like female friendships and like
Exactly.
stuff that's important to me rather than just like two dudes talking about I don't know what dudes talk about
I don't know
sports.
what they talk about either. I mean, in the conversations I was in, it was a lot of nothing. A lot of not much. A little like thoughts and opinions. But that's also something too. Like I feel like I don't want to make generalizations about when men and women here, but at least with us, there's an intention of we're going to be talking about not just like our days of our lives or our shooting shit. Like we have information. We've done
Yeah,
research. We are knowledgeable. We have experience to share. So like
yeah,
there's inherent value.
totally. I was trying to,
Yeah.
was it you that posted something about the matriarchy versus patriarchy, or was that someone else in
I
our group?
frequently talk about it, so it could have been.
But so I saw it on stories this morning. It could have been Bevan.
Oh, maybe,
I don't
yeah.
remember, but someone posted the difference between the patriarchy and like the matriarchy. Basically, it's like patriarchy is like do whatever you can for incentives and for money and
Yeah.
just do it like as quick as possible. But under a matriarchy, it's like let's take care of everyone and make sure the tasks that need to get done in a healthy way.
Yes. I think about this constantly,
Yeah,
especially
me
with the
too.
goddesses.
Yep.
Like yesterday, I was supposed to meet with another woman who wants to start, not start a business. She has a business. She wants to revamp the graphics.
Yeah.
Uh, and so we had agreed to meet like at a certain time to go over logo stuff, very like in my mind, that feels very patriarchy. Like there's a
Yeah.
schedule, there's a time, we have to get things done, like it's very regimented. And not that that's a bad thing, that's fine, that's necessary in doses.
Yeah.
And then she had like kid stuff come up and her life was busy. And then she was doing dinner with her kids and she needed to keep pushing back the time. And, we had to keep rescheduling and stuff. And I just had the thought of like a little voice in my head was like, you should be frustrated. This lady's not respecting your time. And I was like, the
Who
fuck?
cares? Like
What are
what's
you talking about? I'm not doing anything today. So if I can be like, take care of your kids, let me know when you're free. I have
yeah.
nothing going on. Like, of course, that's what I would do. And that's the matriarchy approach to that situation. Instead of being stuck to the regimented schedule and like, this is a
Yeah.
respect gesture and this all means something. It's just like her kids were needed her. Her kids were
Yeah.
busy. She didn't have time to get dinner done yet. Like, that's life.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah. It's crazy. And yeah, we get everything done all the time that needs to get
Yeah,
done when it needs to get done. Like, and if
frequently.
it's late, it's late. Like, no one's sweating. It's fine. Like, you
Yeah.
made a whole ass post, didn't know that you did it, but
Forgot.
totally missed it. You forgot that you made it. And I was like, no worries. I'll make a post right now. And then
And it's done.
Amanda's like, I posted Jerry's and I scheduled Kendra's. We're good to go.
Exactly. Like literally each of us took about 10 minutes and three things were done.
Yeah.
So
So, like,
it's
I
so
just want to shout
easy.
out the Glowing Goddess like Discord that we have because it's really awesome. Like I can't talk about it enough to people, and I wish more
Yeah.
people would join. Like I'm
Yeah.
constantly trying to share it with people to get them to join. I should clarify in case there are men watching that we only want goddesses. Like you really have to be a vetted man
If
and
I
an
as a
ally.
goddess, oh no, am I frozen?
You are, but it's a good face to be frozen on.
Uh-oh. Are you there?
Sounds good. Oh,
Oh
apparently it's
man.
my internet that's unstable.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't know.
Mine's
Either
been
way.
cutting out. But yeah, I love the goddess sisterhood, but I do think that not a lot of people are set up and ready in their lives for this kind of community, either because
That's
they
true.
don't like understand it and know what to expect or how to participate, or because like they're still so stuck in like a regimented schedule in their life and it has to be this way. Not that like people would have to break out of their schedule, but I think when people see their life as like, I do this, I do that, they think that there's no time for
Yeah.
like another thing to have to do. And they kind of see another community as like this big effort when it's like, actually, this would take so much stress off your plate to be able to check in a few minutes between your activities to be like, hey, what are the goddesses up to? You know what I mean? Or like, hey, I have 5 minutes for a sesh. Anyone want to hang out? You know what I mean? Like it actually
Yeah.
brings so much to your day in little ways. But it's still a new concept for a lot of people, and a lot of people still see it as like another app that I have to constantly be checking, another social media, another place for conversations.
Yeah.
But honestly, once you're here, like everything else stops being appealing and interesting. And I'm like, I would much rather just have a real conversation here than like
Yeah.
with the random person in the comments on Instagram or like miss my friend's post and see it 3 days later, like
Yeah. I agree. And I think there's just a lot of stigma. I'm trying to think of like all the thoughts. I'm gonna have to plug my phone in soon, or not my phone, my computer in soon. But it's like I think there's a lot of stigma around women friendships and like women in community being catty or like dramatic.
yeah,
And like we have had our drama. One moment, I have to plug my computer in.
absolutely. Now, there's definitely moments where people have feelings,
Like,
big
yeah, there's
feelings.
always going to be like a drama or a conflict, but that happens in male friendships. Like that happens in the world, like with everyone.
Yeah. And it's
And then
great
there's
to have
also,
a place to like practice that and move on instead of everyone being like, well, we're not friends anymore.
yeah, and like there's also like good conflict resolution ways to do it. Also, gossip isn't bad. I'm a huge advocate for gossip isn't bad. It's just a way of sharing news.
Yeah.
You can totally gossip without shit talking. That's different.
Oh,
Like I can tell you everything that my sister is doing with her husband. And that's completely different than being like, oh God, you'll never guess what my whore sister was doing. Like that's a whole different
yeah.
conversation.
We love your sister and want the best from her, and hearing the shenanigans in her life doesn't take away from that.
It's a whole different experience. And I'm so sick of like I said, like the stigma or like the stereotype. Because
Yep.
I think female friendship is incredibly important. I think there's an actual statistic that said women live longer if they have community.
I think I saw that too. And I think I have this sneaky, sneaky suspicion that with all the like COVID trauma people still haven't processed, a lot of people are
Yeah,
still in active denial. And I suspect that communities like this feel too similar to how we had to have community during the quarantine. And I
yeah,
think people are like, fuck an online thing, fuck me being only online, fuck like hanging out on camera. That's what we did in sick times. It's not those times
yeah,
I will go be in person. So I'm like, that might be a factor.
maybe.
I
But what's
don't know.
cool is that once you get online, then you hear about all the in-person stuff that's happening. Because
Exactly.
that's how
It
we
really just
plan the in-person
enhances.
events.
And
Yeah.
we're like making more plans to hang out in person. Like,
Yeah. Because not only do we try to plan a really big gathering, but all of us nearby hang out a
yeah.
lot. Like all the Texas girls hang out, and then like us, I think it's like us four mainly, like me, you,
Yeah.
Lauren, Claire. They get
And
together a
like,
lot because we're kind of in like a 2 hour drive from each other.
exactly. And like, I'm gonna go to the Ren Fair with my D&D friends, but I'm like, goddesses, come
Yeah.
too. Like if you're nearby, like, there's so many more opportunities for us to see each other,
It's
to
kind of just
talk.
like an organized group chat, I
Exactly.
guess.
A really organized group chat.
Because
Exactly. With
we have a
no
lot.
ads,
We have a
no
lot going
like
on.
crap. Ugh. I don't know. It's so frustrating because you'll go on Instagram, especially in like cannabis cannabis influencer accounts. And a lot of times they'll make videos like, where are the girls at? Where are we all hanging out? Where's everyone at? It's so hard to make friends. And
Yep.
I'm in the comments being like, we're over here. We're online. Come smoke with us. And
Yeah,
everyone's like,
we're on
wow, that
Discord.
sounds so cool. Ghosted.
Yeah.
You said you wanted this. It's right here. We're
Yeah.
smoking now. And they're just
Yeah.
like, that's no.
Simone was thinking about downloading Discord again and getting back on because she was like, I kind of miss it now. I'm sad, everybody. And I was like, I know it's hard. I get needing a break, but I also would be sad without it.
Exactly. And it's like there are times where I have a few servers where I'm like a completionist. I read every single message, and like one of them is because I'm actually mostly it's because I'm a moderator in all of them. But then I'm in like a million other servers where like I don't even check it. Like Tori's server, I love you, Tori. I love hanging out there, but there are just so many messages. I'm not checking it all the time. I'm really
Yeah,
only checking two or three. I don't even post in my server regularly, but like
yeah,
of the ones that bring benefit to me on the daily, I'm hanging out in there daily. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
I can't even keep up with all of the ones that are in ours. Sometimes I just mark as read because I haven't seen anything that like called out to me specifically.
yeah.
So yeah, it's totally fine. I think
And the
that's the
thing is,
great
like,
thing because it can be very passive. It's not like in your face. And then all of us
yeah.
have kind of like ghosted for a week or so and then
Oh,
come
yeah.
back because life
Oh, yeah.
happens.
Yeah, you need to. And that's the thing too. Like, I think sometimes when people see like the goddess server and they see all the stuff going, they're like, they're too much, I can't read it all. You're not supposed to. It's not all
Yeah.
for you.
Yep.
Sometimes there's a bunch of magazine club stuff happening that's just for the people who want to know about the magazine. You don't need
Yep.
to know all that. You can turn that channel off for all I care,
Yep.
like pick and choose.
I
But
think
for the people who do want it, they know it's always there. They can find it when they're ready.
totally. I do think some of it too, I had like two thoughts as well. Some of it may be trauma from the old group, because in the old group there was a lot of drama that was happening and not handled as well, in
Yeah,
my humble opinion,
I agree.
compared to how we generally handle it now.
Yeah.
Um, and so like from my perspective, the old group was like, I'm the person that's in charge and I don't like these people because they don't agree with me and they're just out now.
Yeah.
Don't kick, I don't think we've kicked a single person out. We've had one person leave
And
at
then we had
least.
one person that asked to join, and it was a group vote that they did not
Yeah.
feel comfortable being allowed to enter.
Yeah. So that's what it's always been like a sit down conversation, very like
Yeah.
democracy, like true democracy, I feel like.
Yeah.
And anytime there has been conflict, we have conflict resolution leaders. And then
Hmm.
they'll just have like a one-on-one convo and be like, hey man, people felt weird the other
Yeah.
day.
A conversation is a really good conflict
Yeah.
resolution.
And then we
Yeah.
always bring it back to the values because that's always the thing is like, oh, so and so's getting on my nerves. And I'm like, well, and then like not me personally, but somebody will be like, well, what value do you think they need to practice?
Yeah.
It's just,
Exactly.
it's not, I think it's like a next level way to govern the world, in my
The
opinion.
values are crazy because you could be like, let's talk about, ways, but then also, how can I use these values to help myself get through this moment of someone maybe not being the best to me? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like we're learning so many important life skills for managing any situation that we can then take out to the rest of our lives. And so many women are here in a like, not self-help, like everyone's looking for self-help knowledge or whatever, but we are constantly taking care of ourselves and learning and growing
Yeah.
and trying to find better ways to do that. So that's
Yep.
great.
And then like the other thing too is I think it is weird for certain like people like I know my mom's age group specifically is like weird about being online all the time.
Hmm. Yeah.
And like anytime she is here from Texas and I'm on the Discord, she'll walk out and she'll start talking and I'll mute and then she'll be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry you're on the phone." And I'm like, "I'm not on the phone. It's not the 90s. We just live like this and
Yeah.
life happens around all of us and that's why I muted you. And now you're good. We can talk about whatever. We're here." And
Yeah.
like that's fine.
My mom does this thing where she pokes in through this door here and she's like, she'll whisper from out the door, and I have to be like, what?
It's like a
And then sometimes
ghost.
I'm like, yes, but like no one cares if you walk
Yeah.
behind that no one cares. And she's like, but they'll see me. And I'm like, they'll see a human person just like every human who sees you when you leave the house. These are
Yeah.
just other people. If I
Yeah.
invited my friends to come hang out in the room with me, you wouldn't
Yeah.
be like, like it's just a
Yeah.
bit weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get
Yeah, this is different where I go in a closed room because I know this is going to the internet.
it.
So I come
Yeah,
into like a closed room where my grandma or my aunt don't accidentally walk through. But like
yeah,
just to hang out where no one's recording anything and you're just like hanging out virtually, I think it
yeah.
is weird for people to get used to.
That's so strange to me because honestly, this feels like a much more natural way to hang out with people than actually in person because I'm so uncomfortable and awkward and like I at a moment will just be like, I'm done with this and I'm ready to go home now. And that's
Yeah.
like not normally socially acceptable when you're at someone's house in the middle of a conversation. But here I'm like, oh, shit's happening. I gotta go. Bye. And in a
Yeah, and
second, I'm gone.
you definitely can't like yeet from a person's house and then just come back an hour later like nothing happened.
Like, yeah, all right, I'm good now. Yeah.
But
So,
virtually you can. You can just be like, oh, I gotta go. My like for me, it's always my kids. I'm like, I gotta go. It's getting crazy. Life's happening. But then I'll
yep.
just come back on later and that's fine.
And that's the thing too, like there are so many moms who, at least on Instagram, talk about being like isolated and alone and not being able to hang out with friends and stuff. But I'm like, all of us are hanging out. Like Manda's baking a cake, you're crocheting and being a mom, and I'm just sitting here doing art, and we're all hanging out as if we were in each other's houses, talking, not talking,
Yep.
walking in and out of the room, like just
Like music.
existing. Like it's so nice. Wouldn't you want to be able to hang out with your friends like that at a moment's notice and also be able to go shit in your own bathroom? Like, I don't know. I can't see why people don't love this.
The
I don't
bathroom
know.
is such a good point. All you're like, all my things are here.
All my things are here. And like my pets and stuff, I love
Yeah.
that. So,
Zoom's gonna kick us out soon, but it has. That means it's probably been close to an hour. But I always ask
yay.
random questions at the end. I'm trying to think of what I asked
Yay.
Simone yesterday, and what I've asked in the past. Definitely Winnie the Pooh characters. Like, do you have a Winnie the Pooh character that you identify with?
Yes, Tigger, and I'll tell you why. His
Love
name is
that.
T-I-double-G-R. I'm
Okay.
Kendrra. We have a weird double letter that's not necessary, and we're just a bit of an oddball.
Yeah.
So yes, absolutely
Okay.
Tigger. I would say Eeyore because horse related. He's kind of a donkey, and he's a bit of a sad sap. That definitely fits my personality more. But before I knew that, I was a Tigger stan.
That was hilarious. I think Simone said like Tigger outer, but Eeyore inner, and I was like, yeah, people have assumed that I would be more like a Tigger or someone more
Yes.
energetic. But my
Yeah.
baseline is always sad, and I have my Eeyore tattoo.
Yeah.
I was trying to think if there was someone that you would remind me of, because it's like maybe Rabbit, because
I was
Rabbit's
thinking
like
maybe Rabbit.
kind of a Virgo, but he's like really he gets really upset about things, and you don't
Yeah,
really
he's like
go
an
off.
unhealed Virgo, and I've done a
Yeah,
bit more work than that. Maybe Owl, bit of a standoff, kind of not with the group.
I feel like Owl is a classic, well, actually, dude. You know,
Yeah,
actually, like
exactly.
he's definitely a
Actually,
mansplainer.
yeah. So a female version of him, maybe.
And then I always like to ask people what their favorite spice is because I learn a lot.
Spice Girls.
Both. I was just gonna say spice, like in your spice rack, but yes.
Baby Spice is my
Cool.
favorite Spice Girl. I had the Baby Spice doll when that was a thing. And I just like cute pastels, stuffed animals, fit my vibe. I always wanted to be a posh though.
I
So
know nothing about the Spice Girls. Couldn't tell you. I know like the two famous songs, and I know there is a Jerry Spice, so that one's my favorite. But
yeah, well, yeah, yeah, exactly. And then of seasoning spices, I want to go garlic just because like Italian, there's not a thing garlic doesn't go good on.
classic.
Um, but I'm gonna be honest, lately I gotta go with the mushroom seasoning from Trader Joe's.
What?
It's like
Like
a
ground up
mushroom,
mushrooms?
yeah, like powdered mushrooms and like a umami kind of salt, seasoned salt
Oh,
kind of deal.
okay.
And I'll put that on like my tuna salad or whatever I want just to be a little bit more like salty, meaty, but not necessarily garlic, you know what I mean? I'll kind of mix that with onion powder and it's like people love the everything bagel from Trader Joe's and I don't go that far, but this feels like a nice like a lot bagel. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Not everything. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to point out, and I didn't even talk to Simone about astrology. But you're Virgo, I'm Pisces. I have another Virgo friend, and I went to saw Ghost with them in Vegas, and they are also the exact opposite of me. Like you love mayo, hate mayo, love candy corn, hate candy corn. We went to McDonald's, and I get my McDonald's burger with nothing but ketchup and cheese. His order comes back with like extra onion, extra mustard. Oh no, it was extra pickle, extra mustard, and I was like, oh god, I can't even sit next to you.
Wow. That's
I think
funny.
I think Virgo and Pisces might be like a good yin and yang,
Yeah,
which is
I've heard
interesting.
that I've heard that we're the best opposites because you're such a dreamer, you're like more flexible than some signs, and because I can be so analytical, or like Virgos can be so analytical, a good Virgo can see like the good in all things and find that connection. So I'm like, I think we're not like a lot of signs have animosity and they're like really
Yeah.
opposed, and we're like, we're just kind of swimming in different directions.
Yeah, I think it's like one of those where if you're like, you could probably, I could see where a relationship would really go bad just by being
Yeah.
exact opposites. Like, I don't think I could ever marry a Virgo and have to deal with all of the mayo or all of the mustard. Like, I would die. But,
Yeah, I see that.
um, okay. And then I know I always asked people if they were a Swiftie, but we already know that you are because we talked about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think if there's anything else, unless there's anything you have. Did you have any questions? Do you have anything you wanted to say before we end?
Um, Let me see. Oh, there was another like Swiftie. I'm constantly realizing things that I have connections between me and Taylor Swift. And I realized one last night. Oh, I don't know if I can remember it though. But I almost messaged you about it immediately, and I was always like, "Oh my God, this is exactly like me." Oh well, I wish I remember. You know
I never,
what? Let me ask you this.
yeah.
When did you first listen to him? Because you are the only person ever that I've ever known that not only knows what him is and likes it. So,
Oh, that is so weird. My first ever time hearing him, what a good question. Was whenever Wings of a Butterfly came out.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah. A
Whatever
lot of
year
people.
that song hit, it came out
It was
on
like
like
2006, something
whatever
like that.
VH1 or whatever like MTV channel I was watching regularly. And I was like,
Yep.
this is life changing. And I truly, sincerely was like, I think I might be gay because he looked so feminine in that
A lot
video.
of people. Yeah, a lot of with the
And then,
beanie on too and his little curly
yeah,
hairs coming out. Like,
with between like that and My Chemical Romance and all of the bands of that era was whenever I really realized my sexuality was in question. And like, and then that was kind of the only song I knew until I met my husband, basically. Like I had seen them in concert at Project Revolution,
okay.
and then I met Chris, and like literally maybe like 2 weeks after I met him, how much time do we have? We're still good. We have 5 minutes.
Okay.
Um, Whenever I met him, like a couple weeks later, he was going to a hymn concert. And then,
Perfect.
but I couldn't go because there was no way to buy a ticket. And so then we started listening to it together. Then him did their like final tour, their
All
farewell
right.
tour or whatever.
Yeah.
And he went to that, and I didn't want to go because it's one of those things where like neither of us want to go and not be like the total hype person if we can't be.
Yeah.
And since I only know like 7 hymn songs, I was like, this isn't my time. You need to go with somebody that really loves them. So the other Virgo actually really
Oh,
loves him.
perfect.
He has a whole hymn like heartagram on his chest, like
Yeah.
big heartagram chest tattoo. But I really got into Vilvallo when it came out during COVID because
Yeah.
that was what I loved about him, like
And
that
you
side.
introduced me to that side of things, his more,
Yeah.
solo stuff. So I
And that
love
was
that.
just his like crazy project during COVID. He did the whole thing. He did all the instrumentals, the vocals, all of it. He
That's
wrote
crazy.
everything for it.
I
And
love
some of
that.
them are like true demos, I think he said. I think he said he went to the studio to re-record and they were like, demo's great. Done.
He's like, but.
So, but yeah, that's the first time. When did you hear of him?
When I was in high school, I started dating, well, I was already watching like Bam Margera's show, whatever that
Mhm.
was. So I was
Yeah.
like, for some reason, I thought Bam was hot, and I was like, if I could date a guy, this is the kind of guy I would date. But I think I just wanted a guy who was like a little bit of a funny asshole, so that like not everyone liked him. I wanted someone that not everyone liked for some reason. I thought
Yeah.
that was cool. Not because he's a
Yeah.
bad boy, but just because like then he'd be all mine. I don't know. So, anyways, I was liking Bam. I knew of him through that, but I hadn't like sat down to listen to any of the albums yet. And then I started dating a guy who did like him, sat me down and I listened to like Razorblade Romance, the album, the
Yeah.
pink one, and I fell in love with every song. And then the aesthetics of it was like hot pink, very much very cool at the time. I got the whole Razorblade Romance poster. I spent over $40 to get it imported from Europe, like
That's
stupid
so
shit like
funny.
that. And then soon after that, the Wings of a Butterfly album, the Venus Doom or whatever came out. And I was still like kind of dating the two boys that liked him and kind of introduced me to them. So when the album came out, it was so different than him's previous stuff that one of the boys was like, "This is whack
Yeah.
shit." And he's like, "If
Yeah.
you're a real him fan, you're not gonna like it." And the other boy was like, it's fine. They're constantly changing and growing. If you're a real him fan, you like it. And I was like, well, I'm a real him fan because I like all their shit. So I don't know what the fuck you two idiots are talking about. So I left them behind, moved on, and just was like my own him fan. And I've never found until you another person who even knew what the band was.
That's
So
so funny.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that we found each other. And Zoom
Yeah.
will kick us off soon. So,
Yay. We did
but
it.
thank you for going on the show. We'll go to Discord and
Yay.
keep chatting.
Yay. All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks for
Bye.
listening.
Bye. Bye. Okay, everyone. I hope you loved that episode. I loved that episode. I loved getting to rewatch it when I was editing it. Um, I totally forgot some of the things we discussed. So if you have stuck around to the end, go ahead and comment him in the comments. That way we know you made it to the end of the video. I totally forgot that me and Kendra were like both him fans that don't know very many other him fans. So yeah. And then for next month during for March, the last Friday in March for Women's History Month. I'm pretty sure you're going to see an episode from my friend Tori, but you could possibly be seeing an episode from my friend Lucy because I'm not sure who I'll have ready first. It'll be a surprise for you, I guess. But either way, both of them are wonderful people. They're wonderful friends of mine, and I'm so excited for you to see them. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.